This is sickening. The Cavaliers just dropped Game 2 to the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference semifinals to now be down 0-2 in the series while having a 20-point lead and trying to steal a win while missing some of their biggest players. As a Cavs fan, this is one of the most disappointing losses I've witnessed, at least in a while. This was sick. This was disgusting. I'm sick to my stomach right now. How do we get here? Let's break that down. I'm at Palange with Cavs Digest. Thank you guys for joining me and helping me cope is how I'm going to word it, because this is just sick what I just witnessed. But go ahead and subscribe. But as me and Billy push out all content, like post-game thoughts that you're getting today, we push out injuries, trades, rumors, all of that stuff. So go ahead and check us out and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for joining me here. But it's time to talk about what happened with the Cavaliers today. So they go up big in the first half, up by 20. Was their biggest lead, and then they ended up just losing the game. In the first half, they looked great. They looked like their chemistry was together. They were making shots, more shots, I should say, than they did, at Game 1, and then they did in the second half, or at least they shot at a better percentage. The starting lineup looked like they were connecting really, really well, and then things just took a dump. That's kind of the best way to word it. Again, the Cavaliers' defense looked a little lackluster. Evan Mobley is a big hit on the Cavs. Obviously, he's Defensive Player of the Year winner, so this is an expected big loss on the defensive side. What's so upsetting is that the adjustments were just not there, and that Dean Wade, there's so many players that just don't bring as much value on the court as we thought they would. Dean Wade's one example. Ty Jerome is a big example of today's game. Ty Jerome, wow. What Ty Jerome did is arguably you know what? I'm going to be nice. What Ty Jerome did today was not very good. He played terribly, and I'm sick to my stomach that he played that many minutes because, again, I mentioned in my last video, if you guys saw that, the one I posted earlier today, that Coach Kenny Atkinson, the Coach of the Year winner, should be very willing to adjust when guys are playing bad. Don't let them shoot out of a slump. It's not working. You live by the three, and you die by the three. This Cavaliers team dies by the three, and it happened in Games 1, and it happened in Games 2. That's why they are down where they are at in the series. So, again, how did we get here? Well, it started off with a good first half. Donovan Mitchell had a legacy game other than his three-point percentage, which I'm still extremely upset about, that we can't make three-pointers, but he had a phenomenal game, and I'm not going to hold him accountable for most of this loss. Obviously, if he made 1-3, the Cavaliers win based on the score. They lost by 2. 119-121 was the final score. Donovan Mitchell had 48 points with a plus 13 plus minus and played 36 minutes. He played less than Jarrett Allen, but Jarrett Allen, of course, went on with backup center. Why on earth was Tristan... Okay, I've been negative on Tristan Thompson's playing capability, but I would have rather seen him, attempt... in rebounding scenarios, the final shot, which I will show you, and I will talk about that final play. Yes, it was a rebound that led to a final three. Of course, I'm going to show you the shot itself. But it was an offensive rebound on a free throw that led to a three-point shot while they were down by 1, and they made it, and the Cavs won, and the Cavs lose because of it. In rebounding scenarios, you should be able to use Tristan Thompson. I understand he's not good anymore, but in a scenario like that, I do not want Dean Wade boxing out Miles Turner. I do not want Dean Wade boxing out any big man ever because he's a perimeter defender purely, and this lineup looked very lackluster. Ty Jerome's performance, I know Billy's going to cover that tomorrow. You guys go check that one out. So I'm not going to go too in-depth with it, but wow. This was a guy after Game 1 of... after a lot of regular season games like November against the Pelicans and Game 1 against the... Game 1 against the Heat, we were very, very impressed, and we thought that this guy was going to be the X factor for the Cavaliers. I thought that. I made content for that, and I am eating my words very, very quickly. I'm shutting up on that because the game he had today is unacceptable. Max Strus played better than he did in Game 1, so I'm going to let that slide a little more, but of course I am not happy with how Strus has shot in the playoffs. I like his defense. I like his hustle. I talked about him in my last video. Go check that one out. But as of right now, I am more satisfied with him than I was in Game 1 against the Pacers. Sam Merrill, a guy that I talked negatively about, he actually played good today from the shooting wise. He did not disappoint me on the offensive side, although I wish he was better overall and wasn't as one-dimensional, but he looked better today, and we actually needed his 26 minutes. But again, we need guys healthy. That's the big thing. Of course, the biggest things that we're going to talk about are the injuries. How much are they playing a factor? And as of right now, they're looking to kick us in the butt because, again, let me pull up this box score. In no world should Isaac Okoro be playing 30 minutes in a basketball game for any team except maybe the Charlotte Hornets. No offense to Okoro. I love what he's done. for the Cavs, but I'm not liking it anymore. We have better options, and unfortunately, the better option is currently injured. And the better options are all injured right now, and that's the thing. He played 30 minutes. I actually don't think he played bad, but there's just in no world should he be playing 30 minutes, and Sam Merrill should not be playing 26 minutes of a basketball game. Javonte Green, I'm really happy he got playing time. He's an elite defender. But again, you can't just have a bunch of guys that can play defense on the court at the same time. That's not how it works. These two guys really did impress me today, so shout out to those guys. But I'm really happy with how they played. Donovan Mitchell's slashing this series has looked unstoppable. If he was capable, if a human body was capable of just driving to the paint every possession without getting hit, officiating, we'll talk about that, without getting hit every possession, Donovan Mitchell would have had 150 points combined in the last 2 games at least. His slashing has looked unstoppable, and he needs to keep attacking that, and that's going to be the recipe for success. But if you guys remember last year, Donovan Mitchell had a 50-point game, and they lost that game to the Orlando Magic, so this is nothing new seeing him drop 48 and lose. But how did the Cavs blow this game? What happened? Here's the final shot. Halliburton step back over Jerome. Give me those. Get off my court. And the Cavs were at home, so it wasn't even his court, but he made it look like his court. Another lackluster shooting performance. This team, again, back-to-back games, lived by the 3 and died by the 3. 2 straight games. Anyways. The free throws, we got a lot of calls. Again, the officiating, I know you guys are going to blame officiating, so I'm going to get into that right now. The officiating, I understand a lot of fans are looking to blame officiating. I don't think officials can give you enough calls. Like, officials can't morally and to keep their job give you enough calls to help you blow a 20-point lead. I just want to make that clear. I'm blaming the Cavaliers for this loss. Yes, the officiating in this series has been abysmal. It has not been good, but officiating is something that I don't think that if that is your first key to blame, if you want to go on Twitter and Instagram and immediately type in a referee's name and say, you are terrible at your job, you suck. I understand you're mad and you're angry. I'm extremely angry right now, but I'm not. I'm always one to not blame officials. Yes, the officiating has been bad for both teams. For the Cavs, maybe there was a lot of calls that you can look at and say, you know what, this really, really hurt us, especially in the game. The inbounds, whatever, stuff like that. It's bad, but I'm not going to sit here and let us as fans blame referees for blowing 20-point leads and blowing a 7-point lead. A 7-point lead with 59 seconds in the game. A lot wrong has to happen, and a lot wrong did happen. Oh my gosh, just the 3-point shooting has been so bad this series, and it's biting. It's not just the Cavs that's hurting right now, but the Cavs live by the 3 and they die by the 3. We had some good highlights from this man. I mean, Donovan Mitchell was all over the place. I mean, he postered Pascal Siakam, had a little dangerous fall after, but that highlight was disgusting. Donovan Mitchell was all over the place and literally throwing his heart on the court, doing everything he can. Him and Merrill looked like they cared the most on the court. Specifically Donovan Mitchell, who had 48, as I showed you. He really, really gave it his all. And it is really, really disappointing to see the Cavs lose this game. Again, there are players that are injured. And it's playing a big factor into it. Evan Mobley being out forces you to start Dean Wade or DeAndre Hunter, but DeAndre Hunter didn't play, so your only option is really Dean Wade or Tristan Thompson, Javonte Green, but you trust Dean Wade the most because he plays the most minutes normally. The injuries, we as fans just need to hope everyone's healthy, because as of right now, to everyone who said the Cavs are better without Darius Garland, to how scared we were going into this series, to how threatened the Cavs were by the Pacers, to all the videos that me and Billy have made talking about this series, I am 100% going to say that this is scary. I'm sick to my stomach with this series right now. But let's continue talking about what happened in this game. It was a brick fest from this man. Again, I'm not going to go too much in depth with Ty Jerome because Billy's going to cover Ty Jerome and talk about him more, so go check that one out. But 1 for 14, where is my box score? 1 for 14 from the field is borderline cuttable, but luckily he's been good in the whole playoffs, so obviously we're not going to cut this guy because we needed him to start. And I talked about the lineup changes recently, and I said that Ty Jerome should be starting and Sam Merrill should not be playing like almost near as many minutes. Obviously with injuries, Sam Merrill has to play minutes, Ty Jerome has to start. Whatever happens, happens. I would have probably been better with Sam Merrill starting today's game. It's tough to say. It's really, really hard to say that. But yeah, a lot happened. I'm gonna show you guys that shot in case you missed it one more time. This was the Cavs. So the Pacers got an offensive rebound. It was tipped a little bit, and they got an offensive rebound that led to the hands of Halliburton. He reset with about 9 seconds, dribbled around, and did a step back over Ty Jerome. The defense wasn't good. I'm going to pull up the team stats here before I end this video. The defense was not great. Their closeouts from the perimeter were actually really impressive in the first half. I loved how they were forcing a lot of bad threes. I remember seeing Nembhard back-to-back possessions or in the first quarter shoot 2 deep threes and miss them both. I love what the Cavs did in the first half. But again, what the Pacers do is they love to tire out the opponent. And that is what they did. Now, saying that they injured our players is a little crazy, but they played in a way where players are in more of a danger to say. I will say that. The players unfortunately got injured, and it's playing a big factor right now, and that's what happened. It led to just this bench depth that I said is so good because they're going to be able to take over when players get hurt, and they're unfortunately not playing at their best. The whole team is not playing at their best, and Koby, Altman, I'm still disappointed you did not get a backup big at the deadline because now that Mobley is hurt, you're seeing why we should have got a backup big. I would have loved Mo Bamba at this point. I would have loved Dwight Howard from wherever he's playing right now, and I would have been fine with Alex Len, who the Lakers got. I would have been fine with a lot of things, and we desperately needed that. So, thank you guys for joining me here at Cavs Digest. We're all going to cope here together. You guys were my therapy today, so my Cavaliers therapy, which I never go to, but I needed to for you guys, of course. Thank you guys all for joining me. Hopefully the Cavs bounce back in Game 3. What do you guys think is going to happen the rest of the series? What needs to change? Is there things that can change? Is Kenny Atkinson coaching really poorly, or are there just injuries issues? Or is he officiating what you guys want to blame? But as I said, I'm avoiding blaming that. What is happening, and are you scared as Cavs fans? I'm going to remain optimistic. I still believe that the Cavs can win this series if the guys are healthy. If this is the lineup that goes into the next game, I will pick the Pacers to sweep. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me here. As always, have a good night, and go Cavs.